Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Avatar draft here on the channel. We're going to go pick by pick and play by play, talking through everything so you know what to do when you draft this format yourself. Our rare is Airbender Ascension. It's a reasonable card, so you can definitely build around this, and there are some little things you can pull off. Basically, the best thing I've found to do with it generally in white is to just constantly exile and return to play your Kyoshi Warriors to get an extra 1/1 every turn, which is a pretty good card if you can get it going. There are, of course, cards to make clues, and those are good to flicker if you're playing like blue-white or certain color combos. But I do think it's a good card, just I'm not always sure I want to first pick it. There are some other good cards in this pack. Bossing Say is one that I really like as a land that just provides so much inevitability for your green decks. It's just very strong to have the ability, like, if we've traded off resources and get to the late game, I'm making a 2/2 creature every turn with my land that just comes into play untapped most of the time. So I think I really want to take the Bossing Say over the Airbender Ascension. And then Hama the Bloodbender is also a pretty strong card if you're trying to build a control deck. That's a great one. And then in commons, I like the Forecasting Fortune Teller. But I'm going to start with Bossing Say over Airbender Ascension. I think it's just a better card. Following that up, so when you have a strong green card, and I do count this as a green card even though lands are technically colorless, you do generally want to follow it up with more cards of that color because it increases your odds of playing your powerful card. So if I'd first pick the white card, I wouldn't really have a good follow-up because I'm not the biggest fan of Enter the Avatar state as like a combat trick to second pick. But True Ancestry is a pretty strong card. Returning a permanent and getting a clue is some pretty good card advantage, and there are some green decks that really care about having lessons, and so being a lesson is nice upside for that. Other than that, there is Professor Zay, Anthropologist, which is a card I like. Even though it fits best in blue-red, because then you can always cast it on turn 2, you can just play this in heavy blue decks or heavy red decks, though generally heavy blue decks would be more what you're leaning towards with this, because a heavy red deck is generally a bit more aggressive, and so doesn't need a 2-mana 0/3 as much. But I think we'll follow up our green card with True Ancestry. I think it's a strong card. And then at common here, there's Fire Nation Cadets, which is the build around aggressive card. And there's Watery Grasp, which is like a build around defensive card. So kind of different angles we can go down with our draft so far. Okay, pick 3. We're going to take Raven Eagle. This card is very, very strong. And I'm a little bit surprised to see it still in the pack. I would expect to first pick this out of most packs I open it. There is some thought that people are avoiding black, and so they don't want to play the Raven Eagle. And if I'm seeing Raven Eagle third pick, I mean, that probably means they're going to be passing me a lot of good black cards, because this one's quite good. It can kind of take over a game. Comes down for 3 mana, gets you a clue. Even if they don't kill it, it gets you a clue basically every turn. Very strong card. There is also Earth Rumble. So if I was potentially trying to just stick to green, Earth Rumble could be an option to just say, okay, I've got Bossing Say, I've got True Ancestry, I can just keep taking green cards. Ostrich Horse, similarly, keep taking green cards, even works well with True Ancestry because it mills me cards to give me more selection for my True Ancestry. But I think Raven Eagle is the best card in this pack by a pretty wide margin, and so I'm going to take it even though I think Earth Rumble is fine. And I do think Firebending Lesson's also quite good, and I do think Team Avatar is pretty good as well. I know I didn't have time to talk about them as much, but I do think those are good cards. Okay, so fourth pick, there is a couple of options once again. I think the best 2 cards in the pack are green and black, which is really nice for me. There is Rebellious Captives to give me another 2-drop, and I think I'm going to take this one because Raven Eagle is definitely a splashable card, so I could just be playing like red-green splash the Raven Eagle, and I'd like to get deeper into green, especially if green is open. There is Cat Gator as well, though, which I think is a strong card as well, top end for a black deck. If you have like 3 swamps in play when you play this, it's okay. If you have 4 swamps in play, it's quite good. Gains you a lot of life, and sometimes you can re-trigger its effect. I just think getting a 7-drop is less of a priority than getting a good 2-drop. Especially because playing a 2-drop, trading it off with your opponent's 2-drop, and then playing Raven Eagle is a really strong play pattern. And also we want to get deeper into green. Okay, so 5th pick here. Again, I'm glad that we've kind of gone this direction of heavy green because we don't really want to dive into a second color if we can help it, when we can just splash the Raven Eagle. Toph the Blind Bandit, I think, is quite strong. You get a 2/3 kind of on its front if you don't have any other earthbending. It gets bigger over time, and you get a 2/2 land, of course, so that's pretty good. There is also Suki Kyoshi Warrior, which is nice. Does require double green, and it's a 4-drop, so I think I'm going to take the Toph over it. But I do think Suki is quite good, especially if you're trying to build an aggressive deck. My deck can kind of go mid-rangey to late game because of some of its control things like True Ancestry, Raven Eagle, Bossing Say. So I don't need to go super aggressive. I do think Suki's good. I would second pick it out of this pack though. And then if I was trying to stick to black, I could take Pretending Poxbearers or something, but I think Toph is quite solid. Now we end up in a spot where there's not a great green card. I'm not the biggest fan of Sabertooth Mooseline. I don't really prioritize it. But there is the very strong Forecasting Fortune Teller, nice little 2-drop. Again, as I said, I can totally splash Raven Eagle, especially if I'm playing blue-green, which maybe wants to splash things anyway. Build like a late-game control deck there. So Forecasting Fortune Teller is nice. There is Cave of Two Lovers. I don't think this is really a red-green card because it's just a little bit like go wide. That's kind of what this does. It helps you go wide, which I think is more of a red-white thing, though it's kind of slow for red-white. It's kind of a card without necessarily the biggest home, though it can do some good stuff. And then Razor Rings is fine removal, but I'm just going to take the Forecasting Fortune Teller. And now another close pack here. There is a green card. We could take Cycle of Renewal, which could help me splash Raven Eagle. So that's definitely an option. There's also a lesson for the cards that care about that. But I think I'm just going to take Lost Days. I've been pretty impressed with Lost Days. I think it's a good removal spell. There is also like Dragonfly Swarm, which is not a card for me because it's a blue-red card and I don't really have blue-red start. But I'm going to take the Lost Days over the Cycle of Renewal, over like Abandoned Attachments, over Earth Kingdom Soldier. But yeah, I think Lost Days is a pretty fine card. Getting it 7th pick after I just took our Fortune Teller is pretty nice as well. Getting some good value here. Now there is Sokka's Haiku as a 5-drop. I haven't actually gotten to play Sokka's Haiku yet. I imagine it's pretty good if you have like Lost Days, you're holding both copies up. Like that's like a synergy for it. It's not the greatest card though, for sure. It's a bit slow. There's Appa, which is a pretty expensive white card. Kind of not my direction right now. I could take another green card, the Foggy Swamp Vinebender. I haven't really been that impressed by this. Haven't been that impressed by Earthbending Lesson. I'm just going to try the Sokka's Haiku. I could take Giant Koi as well. That's definitely an option, but I want to try this card at least once. And then we wield Forecasting Fortune Teller. Blue's definitely looking open. Clues also play well with this because you can hold up Cracking a Clue if you don't want to use the Haiku on something. But yeah, Fortune Teller is definitely nice. I would take the Raucous Audience, not Rebellious Audience, but my 2-drop slot is filling out nicely. I would totally play Rumble Arena as well to help me splash the Raven Eagle. But I think this is really coming together nicely. And we get Watery Grasp back. This is a perfect card for this sort of deck. It's a defensive removal spell. So you know how I said when I saw this card 2nd pick, oh, this is a defensive removal card. And then there was like the Fire Nation Cadets, which was an aggressive card. This is defensive because if I'm trying to attack, it's really expensive to like shuffle their card in. But as a defensive card, it just takes care of their attacker for 1 mana. I would play Platypus Bear here, I think, too. Fill my graveyard a little bit, but I'm not the biggest fan of Platypus Bear. And wow, Ostrich Horse came around. That's a really good pickup as well. If you look at my cards, they all kind of gear towards the same deck. I've got these cards which replace themselves, Captives, which is good in the late game, Ancestry is good in the late game with some self-mill even. This is like pretty scales into the game. This scales into the game. My cards all kind of angle the same way, and when you can angle all of your cards the same way, it tends to work out pretty well. Could take Waterbender here. I could take Ember Island Production. I'll take the Ember Island Production. I don't think Waterbender is very good. I don't think Ember Island's very good either for what it's worth. It'll quench you. Could be okay with all the clue generation I have. I'm probably not going to play the Ember Island Production, but I think with my clue generation guys, it's a little bit better than the other option was there. Okay, so here there's Fire Nation Drill, which is a very strong black card. I think blue-green was enough open, like with the late Ostrich Horse, and we just saw a pretty decent number of good, reasonable green cards late. We have good green cards. I don't think we're going to try to switch into playing blue-black or something like that, which is always something to consider. Like, okay, I have 4 green cards, 5 green cards really. And so we have 5 green cards and 6 blue cards, though we don't really want to play this one. So we're not really in the market to switch colors. So we don't really need to switch, even for something as powerful as Fire Nation Drill, which just gets you tons of value. Kills something when it comes into play, really easy to crew, hits like a truck. It's not really splashable either. I think here we're going to take Shared Roots. My deck does use ramp pretty well and does want to splash this Raven Eagle. And then we'll try to wheel Rumble Arena, which I think would be good for my deck. If we get a deep enough splash, we could even splash something like Daily Agents, which could be okay. Just as a top-end card, but I think Shared Roots is going to go pretty well for me. This card's very strong, but not really what my deck can use because I don't have the allies. But this card is very good for green-white. My deck is more interested in, honestly, like splashing Firebending Lesson is something my deck could be interested in. How many lessons do I have? I have 3, 4, 5 lessons. So like Master Paku could be like a way to like fill my graveyard up, or I guess technically mill my opponent out potentially. Not like I would really do that. Waterbender's skin or Bender's water skin is probably going to wheel. Let's just take the Paku. There's also Sparring Dummy, Mills cards. You can draw extra lands this way or gain 2 life for Lessons Milled. Doesn't seem that great to me. I'd rather have other 2-drops. I think I'd rather have Paku because it can actually attack. And now there's a blue-green land, which is nice. There's also a Suki. And there is also a Watery Grasp. So the question becomes, do I want like an aggressive 4-drop? Do I want a good removal spell, or do I want better mana? I don't think better mana is going to be as useful as the cheap removal spell, so I'm just going to take the cheap removal spell. Blue-green can sometimes struggle with this, and I don't think my deck is really a Suki deck because I want to like play my 4-drop and then just sit back and chill and just draw cards and stuff like that. I don't need to like use my creatures that aggressively. This is more of an aggressive card for your green aggressive decks. That's why it's in green-white. I'm not really a big fan of Earthbending Lesson. I would probably take Suki over the Meditation Pools, but I do think that Suki's not ideal in this deck. Not that it would be bad. Ooh, another copy of Bossing Say. Don't mind if I do. I think Bossing Say is excellent. There is Serpent of the Pass. Serpent of the Pass is great in this deck. My non-creature count is at 8. I have 5 lessons, so I will be able to cast this with Flash a decent amount of the time and for cheap. But I think Bossing Say is just really good because I just get to the late game and then all of a sudden I can just like use my land to win the game. And that's a pretty powerful thing to be able to do. So I would love Serpent of the Past. I would definitely play it. And I think it's a great card. But I think the inevitability, having this attached to a land is kind of my game plan. And getting a second copy really helps with that. Here I'll take Accumulate Wisdom. There is Boomy, King of 3 Trials. This is a really rough pack for me. I wish I could take both these cards. Boomy's really strong. Top end card gets you a 7/7 Scry 3 Earthbend 3 for 6 mana. I just think Accumulate Wisdom as a 2-mana draw 3 is going to be more useful for my deck. I have 5 lessons so far. I'm going to get more. This is also a lesson for my cards that care about that. And yeah, I would rather just play like the cheap card that can draw you 3 and find me more Watery Grass, find me more defensive things, and then I can get the top end threats later. Or just use Bossing Says to win the game. Okay, now there is allies at last. My ally count is pretty low. I have 5 allies, actually. That's actually a pretty decent amount. Good removal spell. Blue-green does struggle to get removal, but I'm actually in a pretty good spot on that front. I have 2 Watery Grasps, Lost Days. I have Sokka Saiku and Idolquentia as counter magic, so I'm pretty good on that front, but getting another removal spell is nice. I wouldn't mind Rebellious Captives. Currently, it's not looking like I'm splashing the Raven Eagle. I just don't really have fixing right now. I didn't really take the one piece of fixing that I saw, but I'm thinking pretty good for now. Speaking of fixing, here is a Cycle of Renewal that could be perfect for my mana fixing. Yeah, that can help me splash Raven Eagle for sure, and up my lesson count. And it's even an instant, so I can just hold up counter magic and then use this if they don't cast something worth countering. I wouldn't mind Badger Mole, but my deck isn't really a tap-out type deck on my turn as much. Cycle of Renewal is going to fit much better, I think. And then I get Serpent's Pass, gives me an extra source of black mana. Now if I play 1 Swamp, I have Serpent's Pass, Swamp, Cycle of Renewal for 1 card that I'm splashing, which is pretty good. I wouldn't mind Platypus Bear, extra defensive creature. Uncle Iroh is not, would be pretty decent in my deck for making my stuff cost less, but double green is a little tricky, but Serpent's Pass is good. We did wheel the Rumble Arena, which is another source of my color. I don't have super heavy color requirements like double green 3-drops or things like that. So Rumble Arena is going to be nice. Also a good thing to put my Earthbending on with my Bossing Say. Sparring Dummy or Turtle Duck. Let's just take the Sparring Dummy, I guess. Especially because Bossing Say is one of my win conditions. Like, digging towards that could be okay, actually. Earthbending Lesson over Zuko's Exile. Not really hoping to play that, though. We'll pass a couple white cards. Maybe we'll inspire someone to join the white. Wow, last pick, Platypus Bear. Okay, pack 3. So we kind of have an entire deck here. We have, like, we could just play this as our deck and be totally fine, and it would be pretty good, I think. But we're trying to get some improvements here, of course. Up the card quality. Hama the Bloodbender is a pretty good top-end late-game card. Getting triple blue could be tricky, but we're not trying to cast this until, like, turn 6 or 7 anyway. So I think we're going to take that. We don't really need this card. It does seem kind of cool, though, in some matchups. We're not really an allies deck. Even though we have some number, we don't really need this card. And then Rocky Rebuke is a removal spell. It's a little bit hard for us to use because our creatures are a little small ball, like 1/3s and stuff. Some really good white cards, though. Suki's amazing. Such a strong card. But yeah, we're going to take the Hama the Bloodbender here. And now there is another Watery Grasp. I think we'll just take that pretty happily. I don't mind taking these really defensive cards. I might even play Barrels of Blasting Jelly as well. Just an extra removal spell / mana fixing for Raven Eagle, though I don't think I'll need that. I think I'll be pretty fine without it. I wouldn't mind Geyser Leaper, that's also fine. Raucous Audience is okay, though I already have a Shared Roots, so I probably don't need that. But yeah, I think this is really going pretty well. I'm getting more cheap interaction. The Walls of Bossing Say is worth money if you open it in real life, but not a card that I'm going to want for my deck. There is Snowballers, not my favorite card here. I think I might just take another Hama the Bloodbender. Just another top-end card, gets value right away. Good in like slower matchups. I already have a lot of defensive early plays. But yeah, I think I'll take that. And now a Fortune Teller, the third one, just another good defensive 2-drop. My deck has really come together nicely, I think. I don't know if I even need the Platypus Bear. Like, I don't need a 2-mana 2/3, really. I'd rather just play a 1/3 that makes a clue. Oh my gosh. What an insane pull this is. Cast a non-creature, get a clue. I have so many non-creatures. Like, playing this, immediately playing Watery Grasp is great. I mean, it's a shame that I keep seeing Serpent of the Past in packs with way better cards, because I do have 8 lessons, so Serpent of the Past would be really good in my deck. It's just, the Mechanist is just totally messed up. It's crazy that I mean, I've had a pretty good pack, I guess, but Mechanist is super strong. Pick 5, I can't believe it, really. Such a strong card. And now there's Guru Pathic. So whenever we cast a Lesson, Saga, or Shrine, we get to put a counter on another creature we control, and we get to find one of our lessons from the top 5. I don't think we need a second Lost Days, even though it's a good card. We have enough lessons that we are going to consistently hit. When we play the Guru Pathic, looking at the top 5 should really realistically find us one almost every time. I would play this Lost Days for sure, but I think Guru Pathic is pretty reasonable here, even if I'm not planning on playing something like Earthbending Lesson. And now I'll take Walltop Sentries as a nice defensive card that gains me some life. That can be pretty nice. Definitely better than Badger Mole, I think, because just I don't need more 5-drops. Ostrich Horse, sure. Another 3-drop that finds me a land, especially with my Bossing Says. Remember, that's a pretty key part of my strategy. It'll quench you. Maybe I'll try the quench. Could also try Meteor Sword. Meteor Sword honestly might be pretty good for my deck. It's a removal spell that's also a 7-drop, and I have tons of lands. Yeah, that seems okay. Geyser Leaper or second Rumble Arena. I don't think I ever want 2 Rumble Arenas. Especially with 2 Hamas, so I'm just going to take the Geyser Leaper here. I'll probably not play it. Rowdy Snowballers. I guess I'll take this Rumble Arena. I'm not going to play Turtle Duck. Yeah, I think this is a pretty good deck right now. I mean, we could just play like 50-card deck, but that would be completely pointless because we have so many like good cards. We want to just draw those as much as possible. But yeah, pretty interesting draft, I would say. And we'll see how it does in the deck building. Okay, so getting to the building stage, I don't think we want this, and I don't think we want the Geyser Leaper. We're trying to be a little bit not vulnerable to removal. So I don't think we need Ember Island production. We have to make 9 cuts, and I'm going to add a land. Let's just add forest for now, but we're going to add land, so or maybe we should add island, but we'll see which one we want to add. But basically, I think 18 lands is good when 2 Bossing Says are a key part of our strategy, and we have a land that we can sacrifice. But we're first thing's going to cut Earthbending Lesson. I think that's just a weak card. We're going to cut Ember Island production. Creating tokens of creatures is okay, but we don't really want to add this variability to our deck. Like, copying Hama is pretty good, or copying Fortune Teller is good, but like, why would we risk that when we just have 2 Hamas, things like that. The Meteor Sword, I mean, the Sokka's Haiku would be a cut, but I do want to test it a little bit. So we're going to keep this one, even though it might not be the best. We have 1 black source, 2 black sources, 3 black sources, 4 black sources with shared roots, so I don't think we need Cycle of Renewal. just a little bit expensive. Barrels of Blasting Jelly. Similarly, we don't need the black sources. We can only use this once per turn, so we can't like perfectly filter for Hama or something like that. So let's just cut the barrels as well. We're going to cut Platypus Bear because we already have plenty of 2-drops that are better. 3 of these. 3, 4, 5. I don't think we need Sparring Dummy or Platypus Bear. Master Paku could be an easy cut. How many lessons do we have left now? We have 6 lessons right now. I don't think we really want this anyway. Making like 1/3s that make it hard for them to do stuff. I mean, our Accumulate Wisdom should still be good. We want to make sure we keep a good number of lessons. 6 is a little bit on the low side. Guru Pathic. So when we cast this, we put a counter on another creature we control. We look at the top 5. So top 5, if we have like 8 in the deck, we should draw 1 most of the time. Let's just cut the Guru because I don't think we're going to hit consistently enough. The Accumulate Wisdom is still probably good, even if we're not always going to hit. Do we have any lessons we didn't? We almost played. I guess Cycle of Renewal was close to making the cut. Maybe we'd rather have Cycle of Renewal than a land, just because it's a lesson. For synergy purposes with Accumulate Wisdom specifically. Wall-Top Sentry seems good. Toph is good. 2 Ostrich Horses is good. Allies at Last is good. The Snowballers is pretty good with the Watery Grasp, so we can take out something that's untapped or has Vigilance. I kind of like that synergy. We have 7, 8, 10, 16, 18 lands with 2 Ostrich Horses and a Shared Route, so lots of ways to hit land drops. So I think Meteor Sword's pretty good. We have good number of non-creatures, pretty good split of blue and green, so I think going 7, 8 blue sources, 8 green sources, plus this kind of meaty for both is all right. Allies at Last. Our ally count is at 8, so it's going to be pretty cheap. And I think it's pretty going to be reasonable in our deck, at least. Could consider cutting it, though. Rebellious Captive seems good as a 2-drop. Maybe we do cut Allies at Last. And then we make 1 more cut. Could be Accumulate Wisdom. It's going to be fine and then really good in the late game, so seems okay to play. Ooh, advanced terms. Could cut Ilquentia. Yeah, for now, we just need to make 1 more cut. Let's cut the Snowballers. It is more of an aggressive tempo card. And yeah, we have less green. We don't really have that many black cards. This is mostly blue, so could even add an extra blue. But we need green to cast a couple of our early cards. And I think 8 green sources is about the minimum we want. Sure, let's run it like this. Let's see how our control deck does. And as we get into the games, I would like to shout out the NicolaiBolas Patreon at patreon.com/NicolaiBolas. If you're enjoying my videos and you'd like to support my mission to make draft more accessible for everyone around the world, then Patreon is the place to go. And you'll even gain access to my card-by-card tier list and format thoughts document. I want to give a special shout out to those patrons who support at the credits level. It makes a huge difference. Okay, getting into the game now. Got a pretty reasonable opener. We'll keep this on the play. The Accumulate Wisdom can find us our green source, or if we just draw the green source, we can use Ilquentia. This being an instant is definitely nice. So we're going to dig for a green source. Yep, there we go. And now we can play Ostrich Horse to dig for more lands. Thank goodness. Whiffing there would have been really bad. White Lotus Reinforcements, sure. This has Vigilance. Can play Captives. And then no attacks and hold up Ilquentia. Like, if they play Kyoshi Warriors, I'll be really happy to have quenched it. Let's see what they're working with here. I kind of want them to spend like a kill spell. Yeah, perfect. Because I wanted them to just spend their mana a little bit. Get a sense of what they had. Beautiful. Look at the Mechanist doing his thing. This is what we wanted. Hama, not quite. I will sack this clue, I think. Sure. This is a 2/5. Yeah, okay. Swamp, nice. Hama can hit Razor Rings right now. I guess I should have tapped slightly differently there. But no matter. I think we're in okay shape still. Hama's going to do good work. Accumulate Wisdom. Sure. I wonder if that counts lessons in our graveyard. If we cast it with Hama. They're splashing Accumulate Wisdom, which is interesting. White-green doesn't actually have a ton of ways to kill the Mechanist from this position. We're definitely just going to go for this. Remember, pizza was our first clue. Or the White Lotus tile, sorry. I guess they all look the same, but yeah, we're going to take out the White Lotus reinforcements. Buff up this. Combat. They might have another Razor Rings. That's fine. Oh, they're doing the Earthbend 3 Sandbender Storm. Okay. That's okay. Maybe I should have played around that a little bit, but generally good to get your attacks in when you can. Let's get our Hama down. Cast non-creature, non-land card. My allies are 1. This guy. Oh, I messed that up. I attached it to the wrong one. I forgot that I was going to have to tap 1 to cast that. Oopsie daisies. Could have hit them for an extra 5 there. Sloppy play for sure. Boomy, okay. They get to choose one of the modes. So they have a 7/7 now. Okay. Okay, we take out Boomy. Land comes back. Buff up this guy, play this guy. Probably should have sacked my clue before, but no worries. Okay. I think I'm in pretty good shape here. It's going to be hard for me to lose this game. Another Boomy. Okay. Hitting them for an extra 5 would certainly have been good this game, though. Definitely would have been good. Okay, sure. Bossing Say, there we go. The dream. Okay, play that. Buff of our swamp. Now our guy's a 7/7. Make a little flyer. I think we've got this. I can't imagine a card they could have that would get them out of this. Boom. Nice little victory. None of their guys have reach, so we can just finish this off as Mechanist intended with the white Lotus tile. I made a couple of slight errors that game, but it was overall good enough. I just need to slow down, focus on playing my game, and my deck will be able to get the wins itself. Just focus up there a little bit more. The It'll Quench You was pretty good there. Got rid of their 5-drop. That would have been pretty annoying because I don't really have removal that deals with it that well. But that was a pretty clean win, I would say. And off to game number 2. Things to focus on are making sure that if I'm going to sack clues, I hold up the right mana to cast most of my spells. Remember, my only black spell is that Raven Eagle, so if I'm doing it at instant speed, I can always tap my black sources. And I do have that triple blue cards in my deck. Okay, I think this is a keep. If I hit 1 land in my 18 land deck in 2 draws on the draw, I get 2 Ostrich Horses to hit more lands. And we hit it first try. Meteor Sword's going to be pretty good here, I think. May, sure. Just because May deals us damage doesn't mean we won't cast this anyway. We will go get our black source. Because we are still trying to ramp up, and we'll probably lead with wall top sentries now, as opposed to the Ostrich Horse. Though now that they've played Yu Yan and Ostrich Horse can trade with that, I'm okay with playing Ostrich Horse, I think. We'll take Bossing Say, play Bossing Say. We've lost the Mechanist, but we gained a Bossing Say. So that's pretty reasonable still. Okay, Azula Always Lies. That's pretty good for them. They chose not to put a counter on one of their creatures. I'm confused. So I'm going to take 2 if I use Lost Days on May. So I go to 6 here. They put it in the bottom too. Okay, on the bottom, okay. Fire Nation Warship, sure. It was funny, I was considering not getting a counter anyway, and this kind of worked out that way. Hama the Bloodbender would have been pretty okay here, I think. As would Watery Grasp and Sokka's Haiku. They're playing Bender's Water Skin in their deck. That's surprising. I'm going to try to trade off Wall Top Sentries, then get it back with True Ancestry, because I do want the extra life gain. Though I could just get back the Mechanist. Let's gain some life here. They get a clue, we get some life gain, we're both happy. I assume I'm slightly happier, though. Would I rather have the Mechanist or another Wall Top Sentries? Or Hama, honestly. Hama can get their Fire Nation Warship for me. Actually, Hama can get a Yuyan Archers for me, which is even better. So let's just get Hama. I'm going to get the immediate value here, because I think I'm going to be able to win this game before the other stuff comes into play. Okay, play Island now. Play Hama. Take Azula Always Lies, unless they mill something better. Yeah, take Azula Always Lies. -1, -1, +1, +1 counter. This will get -1, -1. Our Ostrich Horse will get a +1, +1 counter. If they have Lightning Strike, they'll get to use Lightning Strike. They did have Lightning Strike, so I could have had a 4-2 attacking them, but then I wouldn't have my 3-3 back. So I think I'd rather have a 3-3 than a 4-2. Okay, Ty Lee is going to be annoying, so I'm going to use my Meteor Sword on that. There's a little bit of haste in this set, and it's enough that I don't really want to attack. Like, there's the... 2 1s, so I could trade 3 for a potential 2. I'm just going to hit them for 3. Seems correct. Definitely not going to play this land, because there is the guy that makes me discard a card in black. And they're playing a little bit slow over deck, it seems. I am glad we got rid of that Lightning Strike, because it could have killed our Raven Eagle as well. We're going to do this now because we want to make sure we get our clue drawn here. So we can get the Raven Eagle triggered. So if we would rather drain them for 1 to go up to 9 ourselves, or we can equip Meteor Sword here. I don't think draining them for 1 is as relevant as hitting them for an extra 3. So if we hit them for 3, they go to 9. Next turn, our Bossing Say gives us a land, and we can hit them for even extra 1. So if we draw a second Bossing Say, we'd win. Actually, I do think I want to just draw the card now, because that way I get the drain and I get to draw another card. Perfect. The second Bossing Say is nice. Beautiful. We are going to disguise that we have it. So we killed him in 2 turns anyway. Fire Sages, sure. And then we will attack them for 3. They can block and buff up their guy if they want. You do have something in hand, so I'm just trying to be a little bit careful. Sure. It'll quench you. Okay. Rumble Arena's perfect. Don't need that. I feel like I could have done this better, maybe. Just lined up my cards a little bit better. If I had buffed up my island, I would have been able to tap a little bit more efficiently. But we got the win anyway, so we're not going to complain too much. Just always worth thinking about, because there are slight optimizations to make. But yeah, buffing up an island means that I can hold up my counter spells a little easier, because I hold up blockers or counter spells. I guess. If I have enough that I could technically hold up enough for casting like a Sokka Haiku, like 2 islands for that. But yeah, nice little win there. What could I have done better that game? That's always something to ask yourself. Like, what could I have improved on? I think I made a good choice on getting back the Hama to kill their 3-1. I think I made a good choice getting rid of the Mei, because Mei is going to dominate my deck in so many ways, just because I take so much damage from that. I had to get rid of it. I'm glad they put it on the bottom instead of second from the top. And yeah, I had plenty of clues to work with. I could have, I think maybe I should have just put the +3/+3 onto my Hama. That would have done a lot more damage and ended the game faster, and I think that might have been a correct line, because I could have hit them like 2 more times and the game would have ended. So I think that would have been a better play in retrospect. Okay, on the draw, can we keep this hand? So for starters, we have 8 blue sources plus our Scryland. We have 2 ostrich horses, so that's 8 blue sources, 9 with the Scryland. 2 ostrich horses brings me up to 11. My 12th card that would be good, it would be my 2 mana, fix my mana card. I think with 12 good draws out of my 33, and roughly 3 draw steps to get there, it's worth keeping. We'll see how that pans out, though. We shall see, we shall see. Boom, 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 boom. But yeah, I don't usually like going down a card. It could be correct, but, you know. I have, yeah, as I said, 12 good draws. And I had, like, a few draw steps to find them, so. And I really just need 1 blue source, and then this hand is totally fine. Just how I drew it up. Found my blue source now. It came in tapped, so it's not ideal, but I still have a draw step to find the island. And if they kill it, I can at least use True Ancestry now to get something back. This is not good, though. Sun Warriors is an annoying draw here to contend with. Depending on if I draw an island, though, at some point this game, like an untapped blue source would be huge for me. Sure. I think they're realizing they could have used that ability. Yep, okay. Swamp, not a great draw. I'm going to Lost Days here. I'm really hoping they go for Fire Nation Palace on their Sun Warriors. I think this Fire Nation Palace has really been wrecking them. Put it second from the top. That's good for me, I think. Because maybe I'll have Sokka's Haikuba at the ready then. And I have 3 lessons in my graveyard, so I can draw 3 here if I need to try and dig for another island or something. Rebellious Captives, sure. Do I draw 3 here? Yeah, I think I do. So I go from 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'll go down a card, up that, play this, play this. If I draw 3 and I don't find an island, what do I do with the rest of my turn? I probably animate a Bossing Sayland and discard to hand size. Interesting. Perfect. Draw 3. Keep this guy tapped for all time. Discard Forest. I think that was an okay turn. Airbender Ascension. No, the Deserter's Disciple's back. Man. Okay. Definitely playing Island here. They have 4 mana. They'll play this thing and I can quench it. So I don't want to do anything that'll make it so I can't quench you. So I guess I play this. This. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I can go 3, 4, 5. But then I don't have enough blue to go for 6, 7. I guess the 6, 7 will be cracking a clue. I don't think they have a land or they would have played it by now. Sure. Yep, they're going to get up 4 power unblockable guy. Sure. Another island is perfect. Play that. Oh, I can only do this during my turn? Oh, I choked that then. Whoopsie daisies. I done messed up. Yeah, I think I really botched this game in that case. Okay. They should probably kill the Hama. Okay, I'm surprised they did not kill the other guy. Do this. Watch that guy. Play Bossing Say. I'm just going to hold up Sokka's Haiku and all my card draw for now. Because I still have block, chump block, or to sack 2 clues. And eventually I'm just going to turn all my lands into creatures, so. Okay, that's getting countered. Oh my gosh, I forgot I got to untap a land when I cast this. Pretty nice draw there, Watery Grasp. Maybe I should have attacked for 7, honestly. I probably should have attacked with the Hama. I do lose to Lightning Strike, so I am under like a bit of pressure here. Nay, okay, that's okay. Let's get rid of the May. This has been a weird game. I think I should have been able to do much better. I think I messed up a couple turns. Okay. Their Airbender Ascension is doing some stuff now. Yikes. It's a little scary, potentially. Kind of annoying because they have Earth King Lieutenant and Treetop Freedom Fighters, and both of those are pretty reasonable to flicker. Yep, getting the extra chump blocker seems better to me as well. So I can shuffle this away if they target it with the Airbender Ascension. Sure. Sure. This is a board position I should be able to win, I think. Even with the Airbender Ascension active, because I just have a lot of card draw and good stuff. Okay. Nice draw there. That'll be good. I'm just terrified of Lightning Strike right now. Or like something that gives flying, which is why I'm really happy to have wall top sentries. Yeah, I'll keep my 9/9 back. Seems pretty useful. Flopsy, okay. Pretty annoying. That's a really good card for them to have here. Just double buffs their team every turn. I mean, now I could lose for sure. I'll trade Toph for any of their creatures right now. Because their creatures are growing way faster. Wow, they're down to 8. Interesting. So this is an 8/8 on its own, so it's already lethal. No, I'm not going to tap my blockers. Okay. But next turn I can move that over to somewhere. Fire Sages, no! Oh, it's not an ally. That's actually pretty good for me. Not an ally? Okay, their Earth King's Lieutenant is kind of big. So Flopsy's going to stay a 5/5. All the other guys get big. Okay. Sure. So I'm going to go Earthbend here. They have 3, 4, 5 attackers. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blockers, so we're chilling. And the Rebellious Captives can buff up this thing at instant speed. So I'm going to have 1, 2, 3. And end turn. They can make a 1/1 every turn. But that's not going to be good enough to get the job done here. Oh my gosh, that's a combo. Jeez Louise, that's frustrating. Was hoping they wouldn't get something like that going. Oh. Oh, this isn't an ally. Okay, that's good to know. Sure, that's a great draw for me. Definitely get rid of that guy. I don't want to have to deal with that in the future. They're down to 7 now. I only have 1 card left in my deck. Oh my gosh, this is so frustrating. Good thing I checked that. Okay, so next turn is my last turn. But I have plenty of attackers, I think. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You've got to be joking. Does that provide them enough blockers to survive? Oh my gosh. You're joking me. What's my last card even? Holy heck. Oh man, well, I guess we'll just try for it, I guess. They have 3, 4, 5, 6 blockers. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 ground attackers. I think I botched this game really badly. Okay. So I can draw my second card. No, I can't because I die. I think this might be enough damage to get the job done. Because of any of my ground creatures except the Fortune Teller. Oh my gosh, thank goodness I won this game. I would have been so ashamed if I'd lost this one somehow. Oh my gosh, the bossing says were clutch. But I think I totally forgot that I might deck myself. I didn't even consider that as an option until I was like, wait, I bet I should check before I play Ostrich Horse. Wow. I really worked my way through my deck. Jeez Louise. Yikes. The flying was clutch. I should have just gotten more attacks in. I think I could have been way more aggressive there, probably. I kept thinking, oh, I'll just chip them down with this one giant creature, and then it was like, nope. I always had an extra chump blocker. Wow, 3-0 with a beautiful control deck. We haven't had any, like, easy wins, though. They've all been, like, super grindy. We've played, like, 3 games, and it's taken, like, forever. This is a keeper, though. We've got a 2-drop. We've got this guy to play on turn 3, thanks to our Rumble Arena. We're going to lead Forest, play this on turn 2. Give ourselves an extra draw. Because now that we have the island, we don't need to scry for an island. Play our most aggressive 2-drop. They could deal 2 to it, I guess. I generally don't play around them having this because it'll be good at some point regardless. Sure. Now we'll scry because we do want a second blue. That's good. Sure, we'll play the Mechanist. If they have Lightning Strike, they have Lightning Strike. If they don't have Lightning Strike, then we can potentially really get a good advantage here. Okay, we'll do this to start. Get our first clue from the Mechanist. And we'll go get another island, because we already have the only black we'll need to cast our Ravenhawk. They're going to quench me? Nope. Perfect. Okay, I'm really liking our spot now. Mechanist is cruising. We've got 2 clues. They haven't done anything meaningful. Earth Kingdom General, sure. They gain some life. In the battle of life gain versus card advantage almost always wins. Okay. Yeah, let's do this. Attack for 3. Play our Fortune Teller. End the turn. We're going to sack a clue if we can. Okay, in that case, we will use this to get one more clue before our guy dies. And we'll take the Watery Grasp or the Ostrich Horse. Probably the Watery Grasp is going to be more important. We have 4 clues to sacrifice, so we're going to be fine. Yep, okay. We don't need to play our tap land just yet. We can just sack 2 more clues. Yep, I'm glad we're going to be able to get rid of that guy. He's pretty good. Sparring dummy, sure. The thing about this is it just gets them like extra lands. And after a certain point, extra lands are nice, but not insane. Okay, perfect. That's a great draw. Play True Ancestry. Get back the Mechanist. Play Bossing Say. Play Mechanist. Play Watery Grasp on Teo. And shuffle Teo. I guess I could have maybe played the Serpent's Pass, but having two 1/3s is pretty good here. So sometimes you have a card like this, if it lets you keep the card on top, you can like use this on upkeep or whatever. I'm surprised they wouldn't use Sparring Dummy before playing Boomy. That's a little surprising. I guess they're trying to guarantee they hit with this, but like, why do they need to land that desperately? Two on top. They get their Sparring Dummy active. So we're gonna play Meteor Sword. I don't care if they get lands. I'm just gonna kill their 4/4 here. And now I've got Bossing Say, I've got my Meteor Sword. I'm surprised they didn't scry a land to the top so they could draw it. Herbalist, sure. Second Bossing Say is pretty good. For now, though, I'm just going to go with the one Bossing Say. This one land has been pretty good with the Bossing Says. Maybe I should have... I don't think I want a second one just because I have Bossing Say, though. My colors are pretty good. Serpent, sure. Took him down. The Mechanist has been killed once more. There's the Raven Eagle. That's a really good draw. Take out their Boomy. Draw my second card for the turn. Drain them for 1. Katara. That's a pretty good card. Get some card advantage. Boom! Got the win. Bossing Say is so... It's such an inevitability machine. It's like, oh, I'm just going to make a 2/2 every turn. Or make my guy 2 counters bigger. And when you have 2 of them in play, it's just like, yep, they're just making like a 4/4 every turn. Oh my gosh, it's such a good mana sink. My deck is sick. This is a fun deck. I'm having a lot of fun in this format. Mucho fun. And fun was had by all. Okie-doke, what a gorgeous hand. We're keeping this bad boy. Shared Roots into Toph. Let's go get our Swamp. Then we're just going to do this and play our tap land, because we're not in a rush. And trading this doesn't actually help us that much. You might even watery grasp this so they don't get a clue. It's a pretty reasonable answer. And we can true ancestry back to watery grasp. And by watery grasp it away, I mean we have to shuffle it in because it does have vigilance. Interesting. So they have a card draw effect or a way to kill my island. Interesting. That's what they have. Interesting. I will sack this clue. Sure. Let's just see what we find here first before we decide what to discard. Yep, we'll ditch the wall top sentries. We want to really make this a draw 3 in this matchup. They're holding up 2 mana for Quenchia or something. We're gonna end step lost days. Okay. Really? They get rid of the Toph. Not my tutu. Huh. Their submersible is now a creature. Let's make this thing a 4-powered creature. We don't need to watery grasp it just yet. Against blue-black, I really don't care about my life total that much. Wolf bat, sure. Okay. And that gets rid of their Knowledge Seeker as well. Then I can sack a clue to draw a card. I'll take 1 damage to be able to sack a clue, for sure. They need a land. Bossing stays perfect. Sure. Just gonna sack this clue, then I'll just do the same thing next turn. Yikes. Okay. Mechanist. Watery Grasp. Raven Eagle. Oh no, I should have gotten rid of the wolf bat. What am I doing? That was terrible. I punted that. I should have definitely got rid of the other one. Oh well. I literally just should have scrolled further. They have a second one? Oh my gosh. That's unfortunate. Or they just redrew it. Get out of here, Wolfbat. Boom! Got the win. Oh my gosh. The Meteor Sword has been so good in this deck. Like, I have been actively happy every time I've drawn that card. It has been excellent. And this is the first time I've played it in the format, too, because I don't think most decks really need a 7-drop that much. But this deck, I'm playing 18 lands. I go into the late game. I have less unconditional removal than I like, and we're just crushing. Let's go. How did we get the Mechanist pick 4 or whatever that was? That was crazy. Oh my goodness. We've got some good stuff going on. We're 5-0. Nice little hand here. We got the Mechanist, and we got Quenchia. I'm going to play the Mechanist. They could have a Lightning Strike or whatever, but if they don't have Lightning Strike, then Mechanist will do some serious work. If they do, then such is life. Yikes. Honestly, though, not the worst. We do have this. And if they're going to do something crazy, we can shuffle this away with Waterbending. We have the mana. Because we don't want to have to deal with another hasty ally. The hasty ally would be scary. Whoa, they have Bossing Say. Formidable. Okay. This is where I'm just going to probably crack a clue, turn one of them into a 3-1 to trade, things like that. Remember, they have Raucous Audience, so they can use the 6-mana mode here. Yep. Where I'd love a land. Beautiful. think we're still in good shape here. Yup. Because they have 2 to pay for it, so. This is why I don't love It'll Quench Ya. Digging for a land, probably. Ooh, Bossing Say is great here. The anti-Bossing Say is Bossing Say. Raven Eagle to take out their reckless guys. Oh, they're not giving May double strike. Interesting. Oh, they're making it 2-2. That makes sense. This is definitely not an ally. This is where I need the water bending thingy, the 1 mana thing. Okay, we're in deep trouble. Maybe I should have just let it be a fort. I think if It'll Quench Ya had been like a reasonable card, I could have won this game probably. Oh, this is bad. This is bad. Also, the fact that Raucous Audience did so much work was not good for me either. Four, 8, 9, 10. So I go to 1. Yeah, this game's over. Okay, you can't win them all. I mean, sometimes you can win them all. But that did not line up the way I wanted it to. I could have held up Sokka's Haiku instead of just jamming my thing. Or not Sokka's Haiku, the Quencher thing. And then I could have stopped their 4-4 from coming down. And then I could have, like, everything would have deployed more cleanly. But it was a really awkward draw. And then I missed land drops. And that's never a good recipe. Holding up the Quench card, they definitely knew I had it. So I should have just done other things. But they had so much mana, it was never going to get anything done. Sadly. This is a great hand. Farm animals. Okay, we'll play our Bossing Say turn 1. Just in case they go Mountain Zhao the Moonslayer so that it would come in tapped in the future. It might seem like a narrow case, but might as well. I can't do anything with a single island anyway. Here's the Fortune Teller to block June. So they have Azula Always Lies, maybe? Sure. Not that worried about this card. They could have taken out my Watery Grasp, which I might honestly get back with True Ancestry next turn. They can only cast things from their own graveyard with this guy, so. Maybe we force them to sack the animals. Or they have +2/+2 for 2 different guys. Sure. I'm glad I blocked like that. Later on, Azula always lies a little bit. I'm trying to be patient here. I could have gone True Ancestry, got back my card. But I kind of want to go Mechanist to True Ancestry next turn. Pirate Peddlers, okay. That's certainly not an ally. They have all spells in hand. It's funny because they keep targeting the thing that I honestly wouldn't get back with my True Ancestry, so maybe they just forget True Ancestry's a card, or yeah, whatever it is. They're a little bit mana screwed, it looks like. Then again, I'm a little bit mana flooded, so it evens out. I'll trade Toph for a Death Toucher, I don't mind. Toph is kind of a finicky card. And it gives them something for their Boiling Rock Rider to eat. Yep. And by attacking with it, they might attack with their Rock Rider and clear up my True Ancestry line that I want to do. I'll trade this in for a clue. Ugh, mildly frustrating that they keep their thing up, but oh well. They didn't even bother using their Boiling Rock Rider there. Let's go get another forest here. Kind of smart of them to take away my lessons. Bummer. It's pretty good here. Gosh darn it. 4, 9, 12. Oh my gosh. Oh, that card's really good against me, especially considering I've drawn all lands the entire game. Okay. And they have another ally now, so that I can't do what I want. Let's get rid of the Suki. Gosh, I can't spend the mana to do it and stop them. Yeah, they can just sack it to June. Gosh darn it. Oh man, this game. Yeah, the Black Sun just destroyed me. I mean, I didn't have any spells, so I have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 lands here, and I have like 4, 5, I don't know, 9 spells. Yeah, they've got this. They can just sack 2 permanents. And then they sack their land. Or they clue, yeah. Oh my gosh. I'm not really blaming them too much on that one. I could have maybe... I don't know. I don't think I could have done much. I had like a reasonable board state. I had just no spells to work with that entire game. And so I just was making my creatures. And then that's like the only card in the entire format that kills like all land creatures for 2 mana. Like, super annoying. Just happened to be perfect that game. They just one-sided board wipe, kill like 8 worth of stats for me, kill nothing of theirs. Yep, this is a great hand though. It is rough. I was 5-0 and now I'm 5-2 and I'm like, gosh, what happened? Brutal. I would love to go get an island here. So I could go Mechanist Watery Grasp. But I need the swamp so I can play the Raven Eagle. Gosh. That was a tough call. I don't even know if it was correct. Oh, perfect. It worked out anyway. That's one of the reasons I did it this way, because there was a good chance it worked out anyway. Yeah, 5 cards. I have 3. My Meteor Sword will be good at some point here. Poxbearer, sure. Not the best Raven Eagle, but I think playing my cards is still better than not playing my cards. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Nope, they can still sack their thing. That's unfortunate. That is unfortunate. Oh, they sack a Poxbearer. They don't sack the Nation Cadets? Well, that's odd. Two lovers. Part from one another. I'm just thinking about how I'm going to Meteor Sword this Heibai and then deal with whatever their follow-up threat is. They get 4 counters on something. Yep. Get rid of Heibai. I'm worried about Ozai here. Beetle-headed merchants, sure. Let's hope to mill something. You never know, could get lucky here. Beautiful, we did hit Firebending Lesson. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we can kick that. Oh, we can't pay all of it with waterbending. That's crazy. Well, in that case, we'll just end the turn, I guess.
I did not realize. I could die here, honestly. They could have like +2/+, over the team and I just lose.
Zhao. Oh no. Oh no, do I lose here? No, there's no way. It's close though. Because they can sack something and then all their stuff gets plus. Like, I have 2 chump blockers, so they can't get me, but 5, 10, I can block those 2, so I take 3, 5, 7, 9. And they have a reach creature, so I'm not like guaranteed to win on the crackback. Oh no, I have the I can kill the Yuan archers with my Hama. As long as Hama doesn't die. Seven, 13, 7. So I take a 10. Yep. Got the win. That was close. That was surprisingly close with that Zhao and all those tokens. Whew. That's why it's important to close the door on your opponents. You don't want to just be like, oh, I have so much card advantage, I can just bulldoze my way through everything. Sometimes they play like a bunch of combos of cards and you're like, that's tough. But we're 6-2 now. Let's get the trophy with this deck. I'd really like to get a trophy with this one. Okay, we're playing against our final foe, the Jaya Avatar, Sonic MJ. Oh, we have all our colors. We have the Dream, Mechanist, Watery Grasp, turn 4 play. That's like the Dream because you immediately get value, so even if they do something. Oh, and they're on a mulligan. This is our game. This is our game. We must seize the initiative. It's ours. This is, we even have a 3-drop to play before the Mechanist. My cabbages! The ostrich horse. We have our bossing say. Let's go. Bossing say. Da 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 do. Bossing say plus Toph is pretty good. We've had some crazy games. We had literally a game where we almost decked ourselves. Okay, here we go. Maybe we should have made the swamp into the creature. Somehow we're on the front foot this game. Like, watery grasps aren't looking crazy here. But they have a turtle duck, so... I'm not going to attack with Toph, though. In fact, I'm not going to attack at all. I don't want to let them spend their mana on the turtle duck. Sold out. Nice. Because, like, if I had attacked, they could have just sold out the forest or whatever, and then Toph does no damage. Time to shuffle their guy away. They can block 3, it takes 6. And now I'm building up a second 4-powered threat. I have 3 clues.
I feel like attacking is the play here. I mean, what are they doing? They have, like, removal spells in hand? They have Daily Agents, okay. Sure. Let's get our second 4-powered creature out. We're just bossing saying them into oblivion. The Stone Age that is bossing say. We have 2 4/4s. We got 3 clues. We got a Raven Eagle on the way at some point. Probably going to play that next turn and draw a card. Now that we've got our 2 4/4s lined up. Buzzard Wasp. Yep. It's pretty good.
They can double block a 4/4. I'm okay with that. They can also block my Ostrich Horse, and then I have fuel for my Raven Eagle. Oh, I tapped badly. Oh, not that badly, okay. No cards in hand, but I have 5 clues. And I have a giant board state and bossing say. So even if I couldn't draw a card the rest of the game, I think with just bossing say, like if I didn't have a draw step the rest of the game, I think I'd win this game. Raven Eagle down. Sure. If I get hit with the Black Sun Zenith again, I'm going to be very sad. But at least it'll kill their own land creature. Fire Nation Trebuchet. Bossing say, doing bossing say things. I've activated it 1, 2, 3, 4 times because I had the 2 Earthbends from top. Boom! Got the trophy. Bossing say style. Oh my gosh. Let's go. Boom! If you made it all the way to the end of the video, in the comment section, sit down below, leave hashtag the wall, because the bossing say walls got us the victory. Or, I don't know. What's another good hashtag? I mean, hashtag the wall seems pretty good. Hashtag wall wins is another really fun one because there's some alliteration there. But yeah, what a sweet control deck. Awesome victory. The Mechanist was really cool. The Raven Eagle was a great splash. Hopefully showed off the power of that card. It'll quench you, not the best. Probably would not try that again. Sokka's Haiku wasn't great either. The counter spells didn't really do that much for me. Though there was one game where It'll Quench You was like counter to 5-drop, and that was good. True Ancestry, pretty reasonable. The ramp was pretty nice. Overall, everything played out quite well, and I think 18 lands was the correct call for this build. That's going to do it for this one, though. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll talk to you next time.